Ever get the feeling that maybe something's holding you back financially? Like something deeper than just not having enough cash on hand?
Yeah, we've all been there, right? Like you're working hard, trying to make things happen, but something just doesn't quite click.
We're diving into a topic today that might make you rethink your entire approach to money. We're going to explore this idea that the biggest obstacle to your financial success might not be out there in the world, but inside your own mind.
That's right, we're talking about those invisible barriers, those mental blocks that could be keeping you from reaching your full financial potential.
So get ready to explore the wealth gap that could be living right between your ears. Buckle up because this is going to be a fascinating ride through the world of neuroscience, psychology, and of course, money.
We're going to unpack how your childhood experiences, especially around money, might have unintentionally programmed you for a certain financial reality.
And the really cool part is we're going to dive into the science of how you can actually rewire your brain for abundance, for a whole new relationship with money.
It's not just about positive thinking or learning new budgeting tricks.
This is about understanding the deep-seated beliefs and even the neurochemistry that shape your financial decisions.
So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Think back to your childhood. Remember all those messages you picked up about money?
Oh, I definitely remember some.
It wasn't just about what people said, but also how they acted, their whole emotional vibe around money.
Like those little phrases you'd hear over and over again. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Oh yeah, a classic. Or how about, we can't afford that?
I heard that one way too often. Or rich people are greedy. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it's amazing how those seemingly harmless phrases can actually plant these seeds of belief about money that we carry with us for years, sometimes without even realizing it.
It's like they become these default settings in our brains, these unspoken rules about how money works. And often, those rules aren't exactly working in our favor.
Right, and what's even more fascinating is that research shows that we're especially vulnerable to forming these core beliefs about money between the ages of 5 and 7.
So basically, our young brains are soaking up all this information, these financial lessons, from watching how the adults around us deal with money.
Yeah, like if you saw your parents constantly stressed about bills or maybe arguing about expenses, your brain starts to connect money with those negative emotions.
Right. So it's not just the words we hear, it's the whole emotional atmosphere around money in our childhood homes that shapes those early beliefs.
And those beliefs, in turn, shape how we see and interact with money as adults.
It's almost like we're wearing these invisible financial glasses, you know?
Yeah, the color, how we perceive opportunities, how we make decisions, how we even feel about ourselves in relation to money.
It's wild to think about, right?
Absolutely. Now, fast forward to today. Here you are, all grown up, trying to navigate the financial world.
But you're still carrying around those early money messages, those invisible glasses that might be distorting your view.
And this is where neuroscience comes into play. Our brains are incredible machines, but they're also creatures of habit.
Meaning?
Well, your brain loves to find patterns and make predictions based on your past experiences, including those early financial experiences we were talking about.
So if you grew up believing that money was scarce and hard to come by, your brain is going to be looking for evidence to confirm that belief.
Exactly. And this is where the RAS, the reticular activating system, comes in. Think of it like a filter in your brain that's constantly scanning for information that matches your existing beliefs.
So if you believe that money is scarce, your RAS is going to highlight all the evidence that supports that belief while filtering out any evidence to the contrary.
It's like having blinders on. You might be surrounded by opportunities, but your brain just isn't seeing them.
Or if you believe wealth is for other people, not for you, your RAS is going to filter out any information that challenges that belief.
Right. It's like your brain is saying, hey, this doesn't fit our narrative. Let's just ignore it.
Which I guess makes sense from a brain's perspective, right? It's trying to be efficient, keep things consistent.
Yeah, but the problem is those old beliefs might not be serving you anymore. In fact, they might be holding you back.
So let's talk about some of these common wealth-repelling mindsets, the ones that can really keep us stuck financially.
Yeah, let's shine a light on those. The first one we hear a lot about is the scarcity mindset. This is that deep down feeling that there's never enough.
Right. It's more than just being careful with money. It's this constant worry, this underlying anxiety that resources are limited.
And when you're in that scarcity mode, it's hard to think clearly, to make smart financial decisions.
You're always focused on what you don't have instead of what you could have.
And this isn't just some abstract concept. The research actually shows that people with a scarcity mindset tend to have increased activity in the amygdala, which is the fear center of the brain, when they're making financial decisions.
So you're basically operating from a place of fear, which doesn't exactly lead to sound financial choices, does it?
Not really. The next mindset we come across a lot is the unworthiness complex. This is that sneaky belief that you don't deserve to be wealthy.
Like you're not good enough, or you haven't earned it, or it would somehow be wrong for you to have more.
And this can manifest in so many ways. You might sabotage your own success right when you're about to have a breakthrough.
Yeah, or you might feel guilty about having more than others, even if you worked hard for it.
Or you might undercharge for your services or overwork yourself because you don't believe you're worth more.
It's almost like you're unconsciously trying to keep yourself small financially to avoid that feeling of unworthiness.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third common mindset, the effort equation. This is the belief that money must be earned through sheer hard work and struggle.
Like, you have to put in a certain number of hours of backbreaking labor to deserve a certain amount of money.
Right. And this can be a real roadblock to financial success because it limits your options.
Yeah, it prevents you from exploring things like passive income or leveraging technology and systems to create more abundance.
Or even recognizing opportunities that seem too good to be true because they don't require that traditional blood, sweat, and tears.
It's like you're telling yourself, if it's not hard, it's not worth it, which is a recipe for burnout and financial stagnation.
Then there's the identity trap, where your brain wants to maintain a consistent self-image, even if that image isn't serving you.
So if you don't see yourself as a wealthy person, your brain is going to actively work to keep your financial reality in line with that belief.
It's why some lottery winners end up losing all their money. They don't have the internal identity to support that level of wealth.
It's like their brains are saying, this isn't who we are. We need to get back to what feels familiar.
Which is a powerful reminder that true wealth starts on the inside.
And finally, we have the moral money myth, where you associate money with negative qualities.
Oh yeah, this one's a biggie. Like believing that wealthy people are less compassionate or that money is the root of all evil.
Or that pursuing wealth is somehow selfish and takes away from others.
And when you hold these beliefs, it creates a huge conflict for you.
Because no one wants to become something they believe is inherently bad or wrong. Right?
Absolutely. So even if you consciously desire wealth, your subconscious might be putting on the brakes because it doesn't align with your moral compass.
So we've got all these mindsets potentially working against us, often without us even realizing it. It's a bit daunting, isn't it?
It can feel that way, right? But here's the good news. Our brains are remarkably adaptable. We have this amazing capacity for change called neuroplasticity.
So it's not like we're stuck with these old patterns forever.
Not at all. You can actually rewire your brain for wealth, for a healthier and more abundant relationship with money.
And how do we do that? How do we start to break free from these limiting mindsets?
Well, the first step is awareness. You have to recognize those automatic thoughts, those knee-jerk reactions you have around money.
So like when you feel that surge of anxiety when you think about investing?
Yeah, or when you find yourself procrastinating on financial planning, or maybe even self-sabotaging your success.
Okay, so we start paying attention to those patterns, those inner voices, and even the physical sensations that come up.
Right. It's like becoming a detective of your own financial mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, where did these beliefs come from? How are they serving me? And how are they holding me back?
Once you've identified those limiting patterns, the next step is to interrupt them.
Yeah, don't let them run on autopilot. You got to break the cycle.
And how do we do that?
Well, mindfulness can be a huge help here. Just creating a little space between the trigger and your reaction.
So instead of immediately reacting with fear or anxiety when a financial challenge arises, you take a breath, you observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
And that pause gives you the power to choose a different response, one that's more aligned with your financial goals.
I like that. It's like taking back control.
Another powerful tool is to ask yourself pattern-breaking questions. Like, what if the opposite of what I believe is actually true?
So if you believe money is scarce, ask yourself, what if abundance is actually all around me and I just haven't been noticing it?
Right. Or if you believe you don't deserve wealth, ask yourself, what if I am inherently worthy and deserving of all the good things life has to offer?
It's about challenging those old stories and creating new possibilities in your mind.
Exactly. And sometimes a simple change of environment can help break those patterns too. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, do something that shifts your state of mind.
So we become aware of our patterns, we interrupt them, then what?
Then comes the exciting part. Creating new neural pathways, building new connections in your brain that support a more abundant reality for you.
And how do we do that?
Well, think of it like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So you got to practice, got to consistently expose yourself to new ways of thinking and feeling about money.
Like what?
Well, visualization is a powerful tool. Spend time imagining yourself living the financial life you desire. Engage all your senses. Make it feel real.
So instead of visualizing bills piling up, I should be visualizing money flowing into my life.
Right. See yourself achieving your financial goals, feeling confident and abundant, enjoying the fruits of your labor. Make it a regular practice.
Okay, visualization. What else?
Another great technique is to create environmental cues that support your new money mindset.
So like what? Putting up affirmations on my fridge.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you surround yourself with books and podcasts that inspire you financially.
Or connect with people who are already living the kind of financial life you aspire to.
Right. Surround yourself with abundance. Make it a part of your daily life.
Okay, so we're visualizing, we're changing our environment, we're connecting with inspiring people. What's the final piece of the puzzle?
Identity reconditioning. This is where you align your sense of self with the idea of wealth.
It's not just about changing your thoughts and behaviors. It's about becoming a different person, a person who naturally attracts and manages wealth.
Yeah. It's about embodying that wealth identity.
Yeah.
So start talking about money in a way that reflects your desired financial reality.
So instead of saying, I can't afford that, maybe I say, I'm choosing to prioritize other things right now.
Right. Or instead of saying, I'm bad with money, you say, I'm learning to manage my finances more effectively.
It's about shifting the language, the story you tell yourself about who you are in relation to money.
And as you start to act and speak in alignment with this new identity, your brain will start to believe it too.
It's like you're creating evidence to support your new self-concept.
Exactly. And the more evidence you create, the stronger that new identity becomes.
This is all starting to make sense now. It's not just about willpower or learning a few financial tricks. It's about a deeper, more fundamental shift in how we see ourselves and our relationship with money.
That's exactly right. It's an inside-out approach to wealth creation.
So for anyone listening who's ready to start rewiring their brain for abundance, are there any practical steps they can take right away?
Absolutely. Here are a few things you can start doing today. First, do a belief inventory. Just sit down and write down all your beliefs about money.
And don't censor yourself. Just let it all out.
Right. Then go through that list and honestly assess whether each belief is empowering or limiting for you.
Okay, so I've got my belief inventory. Now what?
Now, create some financial affirmations that actually feel believable to you.
So not something like, I'm a millionaire, if that feels totally out of reach right now.
Right. Start with something more like, I am open to receiving abundance, or I am becoming more comfortable with managing larger sums of money.
Okay, so affirmations that resonate with where I am currently. What else?
Practice grateful receiving. This is a big one. So many of us are so used to giving that we struggle to receive.
Yeah, we feel awkward or undeserving or like we need to reciprocate immediately.
Right, so make a conscious effort to gracefully receive compliments, gifts, and opportunities without that knee-jerk reaction to give something back.
So just say thank you and really feel the appreciation without needing to do anything else.
Exactly, just allow yourself to receive.
This is harder than it sounds, but I'm willing to give it a try. What else can I do?
Expose yourself to new financial environments. This could be as simple as visiting a wealthy neighborhood.
Or attending a financial seminar, or even just browsing through a luxury magazine.
The idea is to normalize wealth for yourself, to expand your comfort zone around money.
So my brain starts to see abundance as something attainable, even normal.
Exactly. And finally, adopt one wealth behavior each day. This could be something small, like checking your investments.
Or reading a financial article, or negotiating a better rate on a service.
The point is to act as if you already have the financial life you desire. The more you embody that wealth identity, the more your brain will start to believe it.
Wow, this has been so insightful. I feel like I'm finally understanding why I've been stuck financially, and more importantly, what I can do to change it.
And that's the whole point of this deep dive, isn't it? To empower you with the knowledge and tools to transform your relationship with money.
It's about realizing that your current financial situation is not a reflection of your worth or potential. It's simply a result of your past programming.
And you have the power to reprogram yourself for greater abundance.
You just need to be willing to do the work.
Absolutely. It takes time, effort, and consistency. but it's so worth it.
Well, I think that's a great place to leave it for today. We've covered a lot of ground.
We sure have. But I'd love to leave you with a final thought.
Go for it.
If everything we've talked about today is true, if your current financial reality is simply an output of your existing neural pathways, then what new pathways are you ready to start building? What small but consistent actions can you take starting today to unlock the financial abundance that's waiting for you?
That's a great question for us all to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. I hope you found it as eye-opening as I did.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
Until next time, keep rewiring those brains for wealth.
And remember, abundance is your birthright.